You started? Recording start हो गया? Okay.
Alrighty.
Hello, Anup. How are you?
Hello, Shashi. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Mm, you're welcome. See, Anup, as I told you, right? Uh, 5 years, 6 years back, okay, when I was basically trying to give my certification, and I was looking for help,
Mm-hmm.
right? That time I came to know about you in the LinkedIn, and
Okay.
I started following you, and from your blog and all those posts that you used to write. From there, I used to basically study and I prepared for my certification and I cleared the certification. And when I cleared, like recently, there are few people like, oh yeah, there are more people nowadays. Those who tag me and say that, Sasi, thank you from your blog and all. So I feel then I started saying that I used to, I always go back to my memories back, mm,
Mm-hmm.
be it childhood days or be it any time. So I try to connect, I try to remember those people who has actually helped me. And so you are one of the people who actually, you know, helped me. Though you might not have known me personally, okay? But when I passed, I said, thank you, Anu, because of you, I passed. I had tagged you and I said, like those people who does to me nowadays is the same that time. So
Wow.
let's start this conversation, Anu. Okay.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I have, I don't know how to express my thoughts, but it's very surreal that you're posting something, and it has an impact on people. So I'm just glad what I shared has helped you. So yeah, again, maybe I'm not using the right words, but I'm happy that whatever I shared was helpful to you, and maybe to more other people that I probably don't know would have used it.
See, yeah, I am very, I'm not into social media. Okay.
Hmm.
I was never into going into social media and do a lot of things. I
Hmm.
was very, I never opened up or came to social media before. Not this only happened when I'm now quite active only because after this August 2022,
Okay.
not before that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So a lot I followed you because a lot of my friends used to follow you.
Ah,
Somebody
okay.
gave my somebody gave me a reference saying this guy is doing beautiful work here. Go follow him.
Ah,
And from there I came to know. I'm not like okay searching someone there, And like you, like whoever I brought till today in the post in my conversation, uh, they are the one who actually I have learned something from
oh, that's good. Yeah,
in
that's
my
good.
career path. Okay.
Hmm.
And there are few people who like let's say I started a conversation with Josna. Hmm.
Hmm.
Because I used to follow her and I used to learn from her.
Right.
Okay. And then I brought Sibu. Yeah, Sibu,
So,
obviously, who doesn't know Sibu? So everybody follows him and I've seen his video in YouTube and all. I learned from him.
right.
Hmm.
Right.
And when I followed Cameron, Cameron, then when I brought Cameron, then Cameron gave some name saying that, okay, see, you know these people? I know them, but I didn't
Mhm.
know their background. Okay.
Okay.
So, like somebody inspiring me and he is getting inspired by someone is definitely I'm going to bring that person.
Of
So I'm
course.
very selective of people who I bring here.
Oh, okay. Then I think I'm one of the privileged ones.
I think I'm the privileged one that you came. So, uh, Anup, let's make this conversation this way. Okay. I want to know more about you.
Oh, okay.
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 So you can start with your maybe from the days in India and your
Mm,
studies and your experiences throughout this
mm.
day.
Okay. 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 I think I'll start with a very basic introduction, which is my name. So it's Anup Arora, and so I'm I'm an Indian. I'm from India. I have been born and brought up in Delhi. But yeah, I mean, of course, with due course of time, I have been traveling from one country to the other. My I'm not an engineer by background, so you can say that I am an architect by accident, if I may say
Mm,
it this way. But I've done my actually my background in terms of my bachelor's degree is commerce,
mm,
which has got nothing to do with IT. Um, but I started working very early in my career, and I think my first corporate exposure was in 2003. So,
mm,
which now when I say it out, it actually tells me that this is my I've completed 20 years into the industry
mm,
now, which makes me sound very old, which I probably am. But yeah, so 2003 is when I started.
mm,
I I mean, I've seen a rough start in my life.
mm,
There
mm,
have been ups and downs, but
mm,
the thing is that whatever decisions I've taken, whether it is from a professional standpoint, whether it is from a personal standpoint, they are my own decisions. I
mm,
have taken them. Nobody came to me with guidance. Nobody came to me with recommendations. Nobody told me, no, you should do this, you should do that. Maybe if I would have gotten that guidance, things would have been different. I don't know. But like I said, it's all my decision, so no regrets. So very early on, I started, and from 2003 to 2000 and early 2006. I was working in different, I was primarily working in the e-learning sector, which was quite hot that time. And I'll be honest, I was very clueless from a career standpoint, what exactly I want to do. I didn't have a clue. But 2006 was a turning point for me because that is when I joined the first Salesforce consulting company.
mm.
So I'm not sure if you would probably know the name. There used to be a company called Thicos. They had
No.
their, yeah, you will probably wouldn't know because
Mm,
it's almost like what it's. I joined them in 2006, and they were one of the early partners of Salesforce. And
mm,
it's a funny story. I went there for an interview for a different role. It
mm,
had got nothing to do with Salesforce implementations. It was basically for a customer service manager or something like that.
mm,
And the gentleman who was interviewing me, he used to lead the Salesforce practice over there.
mm,
So halfway through the interview, he asked me, would I be willing to consider working as an associate business analyst, which basically
mm,
means doing Salesforce implementations. So, I mean, I was like, young and all charged up. So I was like, yeah, if you can explain to me what exactly the role is all about, I can give it a shot. And before that, I had no prior Salesforce knowledge.
mm,
I mean, we, in my first organization, we had Salesforce, but I used it as an end user. So I'm talking about those days when Salesforce used to have that, that
mm,
red and white colored
mm,
UI, very basic
mm,
capabilities, account management, lead management, activity management, etc., etc. And that's
mm,
what my company used to use it for. So that was the only exposure or face time that I had with Salesforce before this interview happened. So
mm,
this gentleman explained to me the role and everything, and I clearly said that, sir, it sounds very exciting, but to be honest, I have no experience. So he said, don't worry,
mm,
you will learn. So I said, okay. So the same day I did my interviews, I got my offer letter, and after that there was no stopping. So
mm,
that was the first time when I joined a Salesforce SI or a consulting partner, and I started off as an associate BA, and it was a small company. So when you're working for
mm,
a boutique firm, which is the term that
mm,
is generally used, you the benefit of working for a boutique firm is that you get to don multiple hats.
mm, mm,
So one day you will be the PM, one day
mm,
you will be a BA gathering requirements. The same day you will be doing configurations, translating those requirements into
mm,
documentation as well, loading data, setting up
mm,
users, doing rollouts, supporting, etc., etc., etc. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
was fortunate to go through every stage of a typical Salesforce project lifecycle, and that's how I
mm,
learned. And
mm,
and I think that's when Salesforce started the whole certifications trend. I think it was called Salesforce Certified Level 2. That was the
mm,
first certification I gave it in 2006. And you used to get percentage that time.
mm,
I think I
mm,
scored 89% or something and I passed. I was
mm,
one of the first few in the company who passed that certification. And that's how I started. And
mm,
I think after that, it's been, then I moved to, bigger SIs. I worked with Satyam. I worked
mm,
with HCL, with Deloitte, with
mm.
Accenture, and so on and so forth. So it's been an interesting joyride so far.
Yeah, obviously. See, uh, first thing is obviously if I'm connected with someone, the person is definitely interesting to me.
Okay, that's good to know.
So, mm, first thing is that you actually did commerce, BCom,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
And then you were basically leading a team initially with the start of a career with the e-learning platforms where you used to. It's similar to like what Byju's does nowadays.
Yeah, but this
Not
e-learning was very specific to the US financial market.
US financial market. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So mm, you were working there, but yeah, and then suddenly you jumped to this Salesforce, right?
Yeah.
I think yeah, I was going through your profile and then I was looking there. So mm, before Satyam, right? So this one, Astadia or something,
Stadia. So
right?
Thicos was later
Yeah.
on acquired by Stadia.
Mm. Okay. So then you first started getting, uh, the experience for Salesforce, right?
Yeah.
And that is what you say as a turning. And this date, it dates back to 2006. That is
Yeah.
quite important. Okay.
Okay.
Because I see a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
say, I have been having this conversation with a lot of people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially you are from basically a sales core sales cloud
Yes.
that started,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I'm from marketing cloud. So most of the people who come here is marketing cloud people.
I
Hmm.
see.
So what I see is, whenever I talk to them, obviously they might have started with 2010, 12, 13, okay, 14, but the rapid speed that started, it is actually 2018, 20, not also 2018, 2019 and 2020. Just 2 3 years marketing cloud.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was, yeah, it was beginning like it was whoever I have speak from like Gina. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Gina is from like 2010 11.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So uh, that time, it is just in the nascent stage, I'll
Right.
call it. Okay,
Right. Right. True.
so now this has little picked it up, but obviously there is some this slowdown is happening, but it has actually from 2019, hmm, it has picked up the
Right.
space speed.
Right.
So you're, because you actually, I'll consider you to be very lucky that you started from 2006.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I consider myself lucky too because I think I've learned it from the time when it was everything was point and click. There
mm,
was no Apex, no Visual Force,
mm,
no triggers, no lightning, nothing.
mm.
I think that's the
nothing, yeah,
era that I come from.
yeah. So that time this information knowledge sharing and everything was very limited. So from that
Right.
time you are coming into the picture. So obviously people who starts from that time is definitely, it is definitely has to have a very big impact, and which I can see in you. Okay, why I'm saying this? See, not all engineers. Let me see. Let me be very candid. Not all engineers, okay, would or even imagine what you have spent. I was just calculating. See, I do homework. Okay, I was calculating. I didn't consider your before 2006 in your
Okay.
experience. Okay,
Okay.
I was saying that how many years you have been in Salesforce practice,
Mm.
and I
Yeah.
calculate 2006 to 2022. Just I didn't consider 23 is just a beginning. It always been 16 years in Salesforce for you,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So this itself speaks volume,
Okay. Okay.
right?
I
Yeah,
honestly I
and
never saw it that way, but now that you are saying it out loud, then yeah, it okay.
yeah. See, I'm a person who basically goes very अंदर तक. So
Mm,
hey,
mm,
ये quality है लड़के में. Yeah. So what I was also saying, okay, I saw, you see, uh, you have when I basically navigating to everything what I can do, put my hands on. You have 21 recommendation that was done, okay,
mhm.
and your first thing that I read was transformation of mainframe to Salesforce Service Cloud.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
One of the project that was there. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me go back again. Okay,
Okay.
go back again. So after this initial this company,
Mhm.
let me call it Stadia, or this, right? If I'm pronouncing correctly.
Stadia.
After that, then you switch to Satyam,
Satyam.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And which is currently now actually Tech Mahindra.
Yes. So I was there during the transition from Satyam to Mahindra Satyam, because
Mm,
when the whole so it was actually a bad time. It was the towards the end of 2008. So we,
mm,
especially the Satyamites, we got a double hit.
mm,
First was
mm,
the the case
mm,
with the founder
mm,
of Satyam, and then at the same time we were also hit by the recession.
mm,
And I remember that time I was in Geneva. I was in Switzerland.
mm,
I
mm,
was on a
mm, mm,
project. I was on deputation, and and yeah, because of all these activities coming in together, I had to
mm,
come back to India, and
mm,
then I was basically running the same project from offshore.
mm. Oh,
Yeah,
yes. 2006 is
2000.
basically the start of the recession.
I think 2000.
Mm.
The onset, I think not 2006. I think 2006,
2006.
2007 were still okay. Probably towards the end of 2007,
Mm,
the people started talking about it, and then maybe 2008
mm.
mid it started picking up, and then we all know the
Oh,
history.
no. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I study all. You ask me any questions
Okay.
related to recession or history or anything. I study
Okay,
everything.
great.
So uh, I study deep recession also. Yeah, I can say any topic. So actually, the bubble that happened is 2006. Okay,
Oh, okay.
when the bubble
Okay.
happens is when the bubble happens is it basically does not pick up at, like, it's not like a coronavirus that is spread
Of
it.
course, of course.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what happens is there will be like if there is a national election that is happening in US, okay, presidential election, or
Mm-hmm.
if there is some big powers, something is happening, they try to basically say try to limit that noise. Okay,
Sure.
so it has to spell longer. That's why it happens 2006 to 2010 if I
Oh,
have
okay.
to define the spectra.
I see. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. That's good to
so
know.
yeah, 2006, it will people will say no, no, no. I think there is a slowdown, but like
Mm.
what is happening currently? It's actually
Mm.
started. If the study has to be done, okay, the
Oh,
study was done last year January only, and
oh,
they
okay.
already said that it will start from the second quarter of 2022.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, and people
Got
have
it.
been pushing till now. Okay, so it
Mm.
was like it was supposed to actually start filling from third quarter, that is October,
Mm.
okay,
Okay.
2020.
Mm.
So
Right.
once this things, the slowdown structure model that builds up, hmm,
Mm-hmm.
when the economists has to study, they will study from October 2022.
I see. Okay. Okay. That
Okay,
makes sense.
Yeah, and sometimes there will be a manipulation going back to June, July, saying that Ukraine and other war and all.
I see.
So okay, let's not go there. But
Okay. No, no, it's good to
yeah,
know.
the
It's good to know how you are
uh,
tracing it back. So I think it's a good. It's good to know that.
oh yeah, I
Mhm.
study geopolitics and everything. So
Wow, interesting.
when initially the inflation started, if
Mm-hmm.
you're interested, let me tell you. When the initial inflation started, okay, with the rubble that they started saying that we are going to do a lot of things with Russia. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they said that we'll ban rubble and we'll ban the Swift, okay, Swift transaction and all.
Okay.
So and they say that okay, we are not going to give you energy supply. It was just
Okay.
a rhetoric. It's just a
Right.
rhetoric.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Still after that sanction and everything also Germany buys energy from Russia. A lot of people buys
Mm-hmm.
energy from Russia. Okay.
Exactly.
So a narrative is built amongst the media, but
Mm.
actually in the ground it doesn't happen.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Okay. So
Okay.
what happens is there will be narrative and counter narrative playing with the inflation. Now, if somebody has to say why the inflation is happening in Europe, everybody will
Mm.
blame Russia.
Right.
But
Right.
actually, that is not only the cause. The cause is
Mm.
obviously there is a lot of different slow that economic slow processing is happening. Slowdown is
Mm.
there. Now they have to build that narrative. Either it will be because of election, either will be of some other motives.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Understood.
So yeah.
See, I got to
So
learn
uh,
something.
yeah. So what will happen is this now the fourth quarter results of all the company has now been released. Okay, by
Mm.
February is by the February all the company uh, fourth quarter release will be happening. They will come and give
Mhm.
all the statements of their revenue growth, projection, and all.
Right.
Mm. So this
Mhm.
time the streamline happens. That's why the streamline happens. That's why the layoff starts. And this is just the
Ah.
beginning of the layoff, by the way.
Mm. Yeah. 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 It's
This is
adding
just the
up.
beginning.
Mm.
Okay. Now
Got
it
it.
will be like balancing, saying that uh, those people who has to be go out, okay, because they want to streamline, they will say,
Mhm.
okay, guys, sorry, now we need to, we had a huge so workforce and we have to reduce the cost.
Right.
Okay, and now slowly you will say that, okay, this company is not hiring this time from the college. All these things will happen. Will come into picture now
Mm.
after quarter or two. They will say, uh, okay.
Ah.
So
Got it.
I'm just worried about the students, by the way.
Yeah. I know. I know what you mean.
So we went somewhere else, yeah. So 2006 was the start point.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
And uh, at the very moment, this Ramalinga Raju, what is his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Ramaling Raju.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, this man, what should I say? Hmm. But I have one story about Satyam Computers.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
What is it?
so uh, when this scam hit
Mm-hmm.
Satyam Computers,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there were a lot of IT employees who were working for a project.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
From Satyam.
They were hmm,
From Satyam, you mean?
from
IT people.
Satyams.
Okay.
Hmm. So he went into jail. Now the company is in a very big trouble, but they
Mm.
have some those dedicated employees who are very dedicated to their projects.
Mm.
They worked without salary.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
they worked with lot of issues. Like they didn't even sometimes they didn't used to go home. Even they didn't get the salary and all. Mm.
Wow. Yeah. I've
But
heard.
they,
I've heard about that.
you have heard about it, right? So,
Yeah.
so what happened is, they deliver the project.
Mm.
Mm. The project went live. Okay, and uh, throughout the IT industry, there was this news floating around that
Mm-hmm.
these are the most these are the professionals who the true professionals, the IT industry used to say them. Hmm. So what happened is when I was in Cognizant, one of the director. I think in some event, or I don't remember the event, or something was happening. Then he brought this topic, okay, what happened in Satyam, and what the even few of the employees went through divorce,
Ah,
okay,
yes,
and
yes, 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 yes.
few of the employees, basically their parents also said them, get lost. You are not meant for heaven. Yeah, that's what the story. I think that story is still, if you search in net, you'll find it. But this is what one of my our director was saying. Uh,
Mm.
be like them. Okay, I said bullshit. I said, this is, uh, you know, this is those crazy people. You are basically, if those companies they believe on these employees, okay, then why will they, every day when you open the LinkedIn, there will be some people saying that, oh, I was released today.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly,
So
exactly.
mm, ऐसा कहाँ होता है भाई? So I was laughing at that director who said this. Okay, be like them. I will never
Yeah.
be like them.
Doesn't make sense.
Mm.
But I'll tell
Yeah.
you something, Shashi, that because I was there that time in the company when this whole set of activities was happening in Satyam. I mean, I'm sure you would have heard in the papers that Raju had sent out his resignation to
Mm,
everybody,
mm,
so we also
mm,
received it. We also got it. But
mm,
yes, there were a lot of layoffs. Yes, the company shares tumbled. Yes,
mm,
people were not getting salaries. A lot of people left the company. But and I don't know how, but because I was there, I was actually running a project that time. Me and my team, we never faced a challenge in terms of getting our salaries.
mm,
We used to get our salaries on time. At least if I try to recall a month where I have not received the salary on time, I cannot think of any, because it
mm,
never happened. At least because we were in a
mm,
billable project. We were
mm,
working, we were billing the client, and client was making payments. We were getting paid.
mm,
Maybe it's an exception because we
mm.
were running a
Yeah.
live project or whatever.
Mm.
But yes, I
No, no, no,
mean,
no, no,
there
no,
are
no. That is a
there
different.
are good and there are
That
good
no,
and
no,
bad
no.
sides of everything.
Yeah, no. Why I'm interrupting you is that is a different layer. You know,
Right,
company company is running with their own policy framework. It has nothing to do with company policy framework. Okay,
correct.
it was
Hmm.
only he was snooping his money to his son
Of
with
course.
unful
Yeah,
law
yeah, yeah.
activities, and that money laundering case that made him trouble. And for
Correct.
that, when his reputation is going down, okay,
Hmm.
then what happens is it obviously is going to infect only those people, those clients, okay,
Hmm.
where they say, oh, okay, customer satisfaction. Like you just imagine Kohli, Virat Kohli is wearing some jersey, and in the jersey
Hmm.
he's doing also like he's playing a cricket and he's doing some advertisement. Right.
Right.
Now, if Virat Kohli does something wrong, okay,
Hmm.
then the advertising agencies will pull out from him. Not everyone, but
Obviously.
those
Yeah.
who feel that it will happen. So same thing happens for a company. So
Exactly.
not all the clients will say that, okay, I'm going to move out. They have some contracts. Okay,
Well,
the contracts have to be obliged to.
that did happen. Eventually, that did
Mm,
happen. The client had to pull it out, but that was at the time when when the transition was happening
mm,
from Satyam to
mm,
Mahindra. So
mm,
then I think that was because it would have been a huge contractual change
mm,
for them. So that's when they decided to move the
yeah.
project from us to another vendor. And I did the
Mm,
transition before I came out.
mm. So
Yeah.
the contract, the contract, because of the contract, the all the clients will not sort of. And by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah, of course. Of course.
Satyam was one of the good company, IT
Oh, I,
industry
I
in
agree.
India.
I agree.
Okay, and even if go by its before the scam, okay, its share price and everything were very good. It was always good.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah, when
Yes.
it fell down, I did buy Satyam share.
Me too.
So because everybody knew this is a good company.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
because of one person, it is never going to go down. That was
Absolutely.
sure for everyone. Everyone knew that it is never going to happen. It will go down to rumbles and not. It was never there. Hmm.
Hmm.
So
True.
a lot of people, yeah, in share market there is a lot of, if you